We are live. This is the Market Update, Disaster Edition. I'm your host, Bill Noble. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. If you want to trade on Coinbase, assuming you can, you want to check this out and get $200 free to come on in and get involved in this market. If you haven't gotten involved in this market, now would be the best time to most likely do so after the entire crypto ecosystem has been liquidated. So check out Coinbase for $200 worth of free crypto. And, the rest of us are all vomiting in our bucket. So, yeah, check out Coinbase. It's a great place to trade. They kept their systems up last night, so check them out. Okay. So that was the most ridiculous thing I've seen since 1987. I wasn't there for 1987, but 1987 was very simply everybody got long, everybody got bullish, and then everyone got liquidated because, ironically, a trade number came out that freaked everyone out. I actually looked it up in perplexity. I'll show you. So, and I was thinking about that. I was like, because I remember merchandise. It was called the merchandise trade figure, which showed that, we were buying way more from Japan at the time than they were buying from us. And everybody lost their mind. So, yeah, okay. So I was like, I wonder if that has an impact. I mean, Trump's going to do tariffs on Canada and Mexico because, the borders are completely unsecure and you have illegals, criminals, and fentanyl coming across the border, and these countries don't care. So Trump's like, okay, well, you're going to care now, and we'll shut your economy down with tariffs until you play ball. I was expected, right? And then if it wasn't expected, you would figure they would trade it in equities, but equities weren't open, so they did it in crypto. And of course, when crypto does these like idiotic weekend blowouts, they did this before with the yen, right? So in August of last year, everyone was a yen expert. And then when DeepSeek came out, everyone was an AI expert. Now everyone's a tariff expert. Was a negotiating tactic by Trump, art of the deal. Okay. So everyone just got liquidated. Oh, okay, great. Everyone's liquidated. So we start over. It's like the teacher comes in and new lesson, new day, just erases the whole whiteboard. And it's like, okay, let's start over. New math. Like I said, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I'm like, it's like I couldn't even the exchange I'm operating on, it was like circuit breakers. Like, to sell like 25 Avalanche, I had to put in 4 orders of 7 Avalanche each. I don't know if there was liquidity problem or they just putting in circuit breakers to keep everybody from liquidating. Okay, let's see who's here. I mean, literally, it's just like, this is like it's like, I don't know if this is the market update or just like, I don't know what it is. We're going to have to go through all the charts one by one. We're just going to have to sort it out. Okay, let's welcome who's here. Alexandra is here from Europe. Good morning. Miguel, Maxwell, what's up? Recursion, what is going on? I don't know. Michael Saylor on the cover of Forbes triggering a top. Who knew? Zepetis, Zob, Roby, what's up? Sam, Thomas, Revo, Suchi, Ted, Simpy, Adrian, Taz Pinball, and one, Zach, Diogo, Railroaded, Precious Eco Team, Horn 1919, Crypto Scam 1, Indeed Rob, Malik, Steven, welcome. Well, Adrian, welcome to the ashes of crypto. Okay, let's do something. My karate instructor used to say this thing, that's self-defense. If you don't know what to do, do something. All right, so in case you're wondering what this is all about, there was, Trump put tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Like I said earlier, because he's sick and tired of whatever is going on our borders, right? He's just sick and tired of it. They don't secure the borders. You have illegals coming, you have bad people coming over the border from both countries, seriously, along with fentanyl. Canada under Trudeau, who's going away, has essentially been a communist republic for the last 2 years. And like I said, Trump's done with them. And Trump is definitely done with Mexico because, Mexico doesn't care, who comes into our country. So he's just like, yeah, we're putting tariffs on you. And then we'll negotiate when you're down on your knees. And everyone knew this. This was like a known thing. Then they backed off and said, well, we'll do it gradually. And then they just did it. So I guess markets looked at it as Trump doesn't care about markets. I mean, I think this really started, I don't have the tweet, but this really started when Trump said, we're doing this and it'll be worth the pain. And that's when the markets were like, oh my God, he doesn't care about markets. He doesn't care about crypto. He doesn't care about the strategic reserve. He definitely doesn't care about the stock market, but the stock market wasn't open. I think that's the market he really doesn't care about. He doesn't care about the stock market, but the stock market wasn't open. So crypto just gets hysterical, and then 700,000 traders get liquidated, literally. And like I said, that was classic 1987, because 1987 was everyone long at the end of a 5-year uptrend. Everybody, euphoric and excited. And then boom, right? Some kind of trade number came out and, everyone got liquidated, and that was it. That was it. This is the same. It's like the same exact thing. Okay, so the trade war begins. It'll hit them harder than it hits us. This is about control of illegals and fentanyl. And, as for inflation and prices of stuff going up, that's really a function of what the government spends, which is all true, right? Okay, so, the price of maple syrup doubles. Who cares? Who cares, right? Okay, so this turned out, I got to eat some serious humble pie on this. The media and magazine covered. I was assuming this was a rotation from Bitcoin to altcoins because everybody was too euphoric about Bitcoin, but I guess that wasn't true. So Mike has the dubious distinction of living forever with this crap. I mean, like I said, if I had seen this, this guy was like, yeah, we had a good run. It's over. Well, good call. I don't think it's over, but again, it was a good call on his part, and this is a meme that I got from somebody, last week I was a DeepSeek expert. This week I'm a tariffs expert. Everybody is a genius and an expert at things legacy. I have no idea what this really has to do with crypto, other than crypto happened to be the only market open when everyone got hysterical. So, hedge funds were like, well, we're going to have to sell equities. Let's just sell all our crypto first. That's it. It's like, who triggered this? Most likely hedge funds. They're like, well, we have to adjust our positions. Let's just market sell our crypto. Okay. JP Morgan, Jamie says, on the question of tariffs will cause inflation. Get over it. National security trumps a little bit more inflation. And I hate to say it, but Jamie's kind of right. It's like, look, these countries are going to get their act together, or we're going to just whack them until they get it. That's it. That's it. Okay, Perplexity. Yeah, so merchandise trade. I asked it, was there a statistic called merchandise trade? I don't know what we call it now, but it's not merchandise trade. It's like, import, exports, something like that. The trade balance, that's what it is. So the crash was on the 19th of October, and on the 14th, they released this trade number, which was a disaster. So it had been widening all throughout 1987 because, and the Fed had been hiking rates, and Greenspan was freaking out about trying to be as tough as Volcker, who was the chairman before him that raised rates to 20%. So Greenspan's like, look how tough I am. I'm going to raise rates. And then we're buying all this stuff from Japan and they're not buying anything from us. And then the market just goes, whoop, see it. Everyone just sold it once, right? Computerized algorithmic trading actually existed back then, and every model beeped and everyone just sold. Turns out it was a generational low, but you did get a retest of the low before it actually bottomed. So it's like went down in October and then again in December, and then that December low, which really looked like the end of the world because it was at Christmas. And then it turned around and went up only for, till it went up only for till 2008, basically, well, till 2000. So 1987 to 2000 up only. Crypto could be the exact same thing. It was just so stupid. Okay, so this was Beeple. Beeple put this out a day before the crash. And I was like, I think you should send this to the people along Nvidia. Not us. Fuck. You got to be kidding me. Okay, so let's just go through like what some TA guys are saying. So this is really not that complicated on Bitcoin. The trend is still up. You don't really have to get upset unless they close it below 90K, and you can't discount that Bitcoin has some kind of wick event like everything else, right? Like everyone he bought up at the top at 100K. Michael Saylor was buying. Everybody was buying. Everyone bought the Bitcoin ETF because no one would possibly want to be long Nvidia and all this Web 2 trash. So I don't know. It's not a disaster in Bitcoin, but if you look at tactical stuff, which we'll go over, I mean, Bitcoin could be next. But yeah, if you look at this, it's, a blip. Okay, so I don't know who Crypto Capo was, but he's basically like, I've closed my hedges. I'm fully long. Hope you didn't get shaken out. And that's like, yeah, okay, dude. Well, everyone got shaken out. And if you had any money left, you put it in. Of course you put it in, right? This is so ridiculous. So if you had capital, you put it in, or if you were looking to get invested, it's like, they sold Web3 down to zero. It's like, oh, they support at zero. Oh, okay, cool. XRP loses half its value. I don't know, because Ripple sold 1 billion XRP, as I found out later. But still, if you had money, you put it in. I mean, fear greed is at 44. This debacle guarantees some sort of digital asset strategic reserve because, last night they're talking to Trump. I was like, Mr. President, you just wrecked the people who helped you get elected accidentally. And Trump would probably looked at him and was like, you got to be kidding me. This is like a known thing. But fear greed is now at 44. And of course it was, because I mean, like ETH going down like 25% in 5 minutes after it was already down 25%. I mean, where's fee? I mean, what are they going to do? I guess take it down today and take fear greed to 20. Where's it going? Seems completely absurd to me that they would wreck crypto off this. But then again, honestly, we have to wait for stocks to open up for them to take Nvidia out to the woodshed. But what does the price of maple syrup have to do with stocks, to be honest with you, at this point? So, I mean, this is clearly an opportunity in crypto and Web3. It's just a question of, did anybody have any money left to buy the dip? Okay, so, I mean, here's just an example of the rage. Hope you didn't listen to anybody on YouTube. They're really on Trump about, selling everybody a meme coin at the top. And then basically, other than Bitcoin, Solana, and Hype, everything just got wasted. So, the guy's not wrong. I mean, the only thing that really saved me personally is that I was not really on the air that much. I just kind of kept quiet because the Eagle King was sick. It's funny. Okay, so 2 billion liquidated in 24 hours. That's a record. More than the COVID dump, more than FTX. So they liquidated the whole system. Worse than FTX. Can you believe it? On what? I guess on the fact that everybody was just long. And of course, naturally, which I talk about, it wasn't just everyone was long, everyone was levered long. Like, when everyone gets levered, inevitably, everyone gets liquidated. I mean, this happens all the time in commodities because futures inherently are leveraged. So everyone gets over leveraged. They've done this in the stock market from time to time. Everyone just gets over leveraged and then everyone gets liquidated. And that's it. It's just a giant, stocks, they call it a margin call. At 87, same thing. Everyone just got liquidated. Like, what happened? Oh, they just cleaned out the whole system. So if they clean out the whole system, I mean, this is the good news. When they clean out all the leverage, all these levered players are either wiped out or they're all going to come back in, right? After they just got destroyed. There's nothing left to do but buy. Now the only question is, will spot buyers, will people exit the ETFs? I don't know. Probably, but I don't know why you wouldn't just indiscriminately buy, if you were a stock person, why you wouldn't just indiscriminately buy the crypto ETFs, because they're down 20% and stocks are garbage. I mean, so yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it was like, at one point, I don't know, this is at 6 o'clock, right? This got way worse after that. They took out like $200 billion from market cap. That probably got worse than that. It's like they took crypto and crypto lost like 25% of its value. Oh, okay. Well, it's like going to the store. It's like, oh, I'm going to go shop. I'm going to go buy stuff. Oh, look, 25% off. That's it. So first it was, hey, it's $1 billion liquidated. And then 5 minutes later, I don't know, it was not 5 minutes. Like, yeah. So at 4 o'clock, it was $1 billion. I'm like, okay, let me buy some. Then at 9 o'clock, it was $2 billion. They did $1 billion in 5 hours. They did another $1 billion in 5 hours. It's like, is anyone left? Who's left? 2.3 was the final number at 5 a.m. Look at this. North Korea got liquidated. North Korea got liquidated on Hyperliquid. North Korea. I mean, if North Korea was liquidated, I mean, it's like U.S. traders liquidated, North Korea liquidated. Is there anyone left to liquidate? Is there anyone left? I don't know, man. That's just hysterical. Okay, so Michael Saylor isn't buying any more Bitcoin, so they scared Michael Saylor out of the water. And of course, I don't know, man, him being on the front cover of that magazine, it's like he'll never talk to the media again. It's just a bad look by accident. Coinbase just got regulatory approval to launch crypto services in the United Kingdom. It's a good thing they took care of that before this happened. Okay, and don't forget about my guy John McAfee, my anti-coin. Didn't really get destroyed. It didn't. It just hung in there at like 6 cents. So, John McAfee reminding you here that, governments don't always tell the truth. So, if you want to make an informed decision, you can't make an informed decision because you don't have any real information. Right. The guy was a legend. And, I'm going to stick with my little meme coin at $6 million valuation. Because, again, in worst case scenario, there's support at 0. And I think we're done with that. But anyway, that's just me. Okay. So, yeah, here's antivirus. Everything is kind of hanging out below 62%. Okay. Whatever. I mean, everybody will probably get taken out to the woodshed by the time this is over. So nothing outperforms in an environment like this. So they didn't hit Bitcoin last night. They're eventually going to get Bitcoin. They're eventually going to get everybody one way or the other. But again, who's left? Who's left to get liquidated? Okay, so Ski Dog, yeah, all right. So it's below the 62% retracement. Again, everyone liquidated. Charts look ugly when everyone's liquidated. So, nobody wanted virtuals at 0. Everyone loved it at 5 billion. And then they just liquidated everybody. And now it's like below 2 billion market cap. And, got to the 78% retracement. That's kind of like the automatic retracement that they draw. I mean, I know guys last night that were like, and they're right. I think they're right. They're like, I'm buying the AI agent coins. I'm buying FARD. This is like at 7 or 8 o'clock. It's like I'm buying FARD. FARD's actually up 13%. Yeah, they're like, I'm buying FARD down 70% or whatever it is. Right. So here's FARD 4 hours. I can't believe what they did to some of these coins, right? I mean, FART was down a lot to begin with. So these AI agent, like all these meme coins were down, they were already down like 80% from their high. And then everything did the 78% retracement because they just stopped everyone out here, right? Everyone was like, oh, yeah, 62% retracement, just like me. Everyone's like, yeah, here we go. Everything's cool. And then, boom, everyone gets liquidated. Coins I was looking at on ETH. I mean, I got ETH to get into this. This is like, the guys who think they can create like human influencers. Right now it's basically like this, it's like this OnlyFans interface, but they think they can take it to the human level. I was like, oh yeah, let's get some ETH so I can get involved in this. This is now 5 million market cap. I mean, there's stuff at like 5 million market cap. I'm looking at like, wow. There's also stuff like FART. I mean, I'm personally not doing FART, but FART was at like 2.5 billion. And, FART went all the way down. Now it's at 642. So again, it's like an 80%, 70% markdown on some of this stuff. Okay. So, Trump now looks like Melania, right? All the way up, all the way down. Trump is actually below the 76% retracement. Not a good look for the president of the United States. Not a good look. I mean, if anything, this is, if this crashes and goes back to where it opens, I'm sure the general public will be very interested to go on MoonPay and get some, right? Because it'll go back to where it started from if that happens. But I mean, somebody's going to ask Trump. It's like, yo, bro, WTF with this? What are you doing? Like you didn't want to announce it when stocks were open, so you announced it when crypto was open, and it got wrecked. Okay, so this is XRP. Let me get something else. Let me get it different. Like there's like so much chart work out the window on this. Okay. So here's what you got in XRP, right? This is like a daily chart. Okay. So XRP was up so much that, I mean, once it broke out of this rising wedge, normally if you break out of the bottom of a rising wedge, it's not good. It reflects a tired market. Now, I assumed this was like, I don't know, this was like some sort of accumulation for $6. Guess Ripple sold $1 billion, so that was the end of that, I guess. So XRP goes down to equilibrium, but the thing that disturbs me is on this daily chart, there's no like that you don't have the suite of reversal signals that you would get, normally on Lux algo charts. I mean, you do have it here on like, say, a 90-minute XRP chart, and you clearly have mass liquidation, but I don't see both liquidation signals, both reversal signals on a tactical, like a 4-hour chart. So basically all I'm trying to say is that, you know, they may hit this thing one more time. That's all I'm saying. I mean, clearly downside momentum has slowed based on this signal, but you know, the stock market hasn't opened yet. So I'm not bearish, but you know, you may get better prices before this is over. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's go to ETH. Yeah, let's just go to ETH and try to figure this out. Okay. So believe it or not, in ETH, there's actually a lot of good news. So there was a head and shoulders top in ETH, and like, here's me going, oh, they invalidated this because they broke it and came back above it. Wrong. So the good news is, really, the good news for real is that, you know, they're going to build Web3 on ETH. Everyone's bearish. And then, you know, with a head and shoulders top, you travel this distance from the point from the neckline, and that's exactly what you did. So it's over. That's it. Right? And ETH goes to its discount zone on Lux Algo on a daily chart. So, okay, ETH is over. It's done. That's it. No more debacle in ETH. If anything, it's going to switch over to Bitcoin, because when you look at Ethereum versus Bitcoin on a daily chart, it's a 13 bottom. So, you know, the underperformance of ETH is over, and that's the good news. So any sort of extra decline that you get today in altcoins is probably a buy, because the underperformance of ETH should end based on this. And of course, this gigantic down move is kind of classic. It's kind of classic. Okay, so let's just, well, while we're here on DeMark, let's just go to a tactical view. So this is a 90-minute chart of Bitcoin. This is the 13 bottom. That should be it in Bitcoin. Should be. You need this thing to turn around and reverse and go up to confirm this bottom. And if you don't get that, then they're going to hit Bitcoin. That's all. You know, everyone was talking, you know, you had all these characters talking about 71, you know, like, I don't know, it was like 85, 81, 75. Okay, whatever. You know, Bitcoin really didn't go down. I mean, Bitcoin dominance got to like 63%. So if Bitcoin holds here, if stocks open up and Bitcoin takes the punch, it's going to be okay, right? It should be. But if it's not, then, you know, we have, you know, unsettling price action. Okay, so here's XRP on a 90-minute chart. That should be the end of the correction. I don't know if they're going to try to attack this wick, because again, in 87, you know, first it was irrational in October and everyone thought it was over, and then it wasn't. It had to do a retest. You know, I don't know if the general public's going to liquidate spot today. Now, if you want to hear something good, if you're like, Bill, tell me something good. So there was the 13 bottom in Solana on a 90-minute chart. If you look at a 4-hour chart of Solana, nothing particularly good here. Like this 13 and 9 bottom, I was like, I was like, oh, this looks great. And then boom. If you look at Solana on it, this was clearly a 9 bottom. So, you know, unless Solana goes up and then fails, Solana should be fine. I mean, there's a 9 bottom here. I mean, this 9 signal normally is pretty good in Solana. So I really don't think Solana is the problem. I don't. Okay, like Avalanche, again, you know, 13 bottom on like a 90-minute chart. So like tactically, this should end. And if it doesn't, then they have one more heave. If you turn around and you go to Lux Algo, right? Okay. like, Arrow's like insane. Like, you got to start asking yourself, is everything going to its discount zone on a daily chart? It's just a question, right? So, I mean, Arrow downside risk in theory is 63 cents. Now, again, I'm looking at the 4-hour chart on most of this stuff. And the 4-hour chart, like the 4-hour chart of Arrow, you have the reversal signal, you have the slowing momentum signal, and you're at the discount zone on a daily chart. It's like, what are they really going to do to this that they haven't done already? Other than like retest the lows or wick the lows. They could wick the wick. Because everyone freaks out and has to get out of spot because, you look at the screen and it looks horrible. That's the only reason anybody would liquidate at this point. They just can't take it anymore. They're over it. That's it. Okay, so just to cover Bitcoin dominance and how absurd this is, Bitcoin dominance went to its premium zone, sell signal and Bitcoin dominance. Everybody destroyed Web3. Like, apparently, the price of maple syrup is going up and Web3 is canceled. You got to be kidding me. I mean, it's so ridiculous. But they did you a favor because I did talk about resistance in Total 3, right? Yeah, they had resistance here. Here was me being a KOL, thinking that it's going to break out, and it didn't. Instead, it went to its 200-day moving average. Altcoin market cap went to its 200-day moving average. It went below it. Why would altcoin market cap go below its 1-year mean? You know what I'm saying? Why would that happen? I don't even know. It wouldn't. I mean, total 2. So if you include the ETH debacle, total crypto market cap with ETH is below its 200-day moving average. And total crypto market cap went to its 200-day moving average. So if you look at the long-term average for all of crypto, it went to its 200-day moving average. You're going to sell at the 1-year average of all of crypto? You got to be kidding me. There's nothing to do here. Honestly, not investment advice. There's nothing to do here but buy. And the only thing you would sell is like if you wanted to take a tax loss on something and just rotate into something that was like stupid cheap, like ETH, like XRP, or even Bitcoin, if Bitcoin does something idiotic like go below 90. Right? Because, I mean, selling the future over maple syrup seems unbelievably stupid. Right? I'm sure equities on the open will be joyful. Let's try to do some macro. And the thing about the macro is, the dollar index didn't even make a new high. If anything, the dollar index broke down, retested the formation it broke down out of, went to its premium zone. The dollar is a sale here. Okay, these 25% tariffs are not going to be there forever. So, okay. The dollar's not up that much. Now, clearly, you can see why people were buying gold, because gold is at its premium zone, but no one cares because Lux Algo just continues to put support underneath gold, and everyone's freaking out about this. And silver just went down to its equilibrium point, and silver's going to 35. Silver's going back up. So everyone's like, oh my God, the dollar is so strong. Precious metals didn't even move. So, I mean, in many ways in crypto, the U.S. Treasury, BlackRock, and Michael Saylor needed a good entry point, and they just got it. They just got it. And I think Trump just inadvertently screwed up. He was like, oh, yeah, let's announce all this when the stock market's closed because we don't want the stock market to go down. We'll just, liquidate everybody in crypto. Crypto was just a chain reaction of everybody being levered long. This has nothing to do with Web3. Like I said last week, everyone's like, oh, I'm a DeepSeek genius. Now everybody is a, tariff genius. It's just stupid. Okay. But, the thing is, when you have something stupid like this, you have to deal with the ramifications. It's like, everybody wakes up and it's like, okay, now what do I do? You just don't know what the legacy characters are going to do with the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF. Like I said, if there's risk to anything at this point, it's that people just panic in the Bitcoin ETF. They should be panicking in Nvidia, but yeah, I mean, you can't discount, like, legacy hasn't been able to trade this yet. So you're going to have to let that happen. And then if you got money, then you just put it in. Because 1987 was a generational buy, and I don't see this as any different, right? It's just that nobody was expecting a 50% decline in ETH off maple syrup. Okay, I guess we should answer people's questions here. Okay, so we covered Solana. Solana looks better than anything. I sold half my XRP bag, looking to buy it back lower. It's not the wrong thing to do. I don't know what the right thing to do is with XRP. I mean, if XRP is going to $6 or $8 and they offered it to you at $1.80, you have to take that, right? And I don't know who sold $1 billion. I don't know if that's Ripple or they just increased the token supply. I don't even know how that works. But I mean, that was what's created the debacle. I think when XRP broke, that's when everybody panicked. Still, it's fast American-made money, and this is such a disaster that they have to come out and do something, because otherwise everyone's going to turn on Trump and his kids, right? World Liberty, the meme coin, whatever it is they were going to do with crypto, they definitely have to do it now, and that's the good news. That's the good news. Okay, so I'll do my research, but liquidated means they lost their entire position, right? So if you had stop losses in, so if you were a levered trader and you had stop losses on your position, all your stops got hit. It doesn't necessarily mean your account went to zero, although I'm sure that did happen to people. It just means they literally triggered every single stop in the market. 700,000 entities got stopped out because everybody was like 3, 5, 10, 20x levered long. So the losses on this kind of stuff can be catastrophic for people's P&L. Like that's the argument that this market may go down and stay down, or have to like range trade because everybody who was levered trading it just got wiped out. But my argument is that's unfortunate, but who cares? Because all of legacy and the entire planet needs an alternative to fiat, and they just marked it down 30%. So levered people got wiped out. Again, if everyone's doing the same thing, everyone's doing meme coins, everyone's levered long, and they just all get blown out. And then it's an opportunity for people to come in who actually want to be long this stuff for the next 3 years, or, they want to take advantage of a move between now and Easter, and then they want to take an advantage of another move from May to July. Oh, now you got a chance. Now you got an opportunity. That's what I think. Are we going to see some sort of relief rally, or was that this a top? I definitely don't think it was a top. It wasn't a top in 87. It took a year to go back to the high. They didn't get back to the 87 high until 1988, but that was like stocks in the 80s. With crypto, it's not going to take a year. So it's not even going to it may not even take a month. This feels like a massive long-term low to me. Just a question of like what the next day or two look like. So everyone's like, oh, the cycle's over. It's top. Michael Saylor on the cover of a magazine. Okay, dude. You had your weekend, and all these, excuse me, I know I shouldn't say this, but all of these weekend blowouts in crypto are bullshit. It's a reaction to something that happens because all the rest of the markets are closed. They don't care in the dollar. They don't really care in stocks. Why do we care? Just because everyone was levered and they got liquidated. Thoughts on AIXBT and Fartcoin? Yeah, I mean, we did Fart. Fart's probably a buy, right? Because they stopped everyone out at the 62% retracement. I mean, Fartcoin basically went all the way back to where the whole move started from. Now, I mean, again, I'm an anti guy, but all this AI agent stuff, like one guy, I think I put it on my Twitter, right? And I will look at AIXBT. But I mean, what, like this guy I used to work with, Jordy Visser. What's more important to stocks, economic productivity and earnings for 2025, or avocado and maple syrup, or AI agents or humanoids? You know, it's like ridiculous. I don't remember what Smoot Hawley is, but it's just dumb. It's dumb. Okay. Okay. Okay, so Doge. Okay, sharing screen here on Doge. Okay, so yeah, I mean, see, and this is where you're going to hear stuff like, well, the chart structures are broken. Okay, maybe, I mean, Doge broke the 200-day moving average. This should be slowing downside momentum. I don't have the reversal signal that I would want, but I don't know, man. The 62% retracement in Doge is at 23 cents and they ran all the stops. So, how do you get bearish Doge except to just say, you've got, like, if you look at the tactical charts, all they can really do, in my opinion, given the extent of the liquidation here. So this red on red is liquidation. So it's like, who's left to sell? And you've got both Lux Algo reversal signals. The only question is, like if you just go to DeMark, what I'm trying to say is, is it over today? Well, I mean, look at the 4-hour chart. This is like, there's a 90-minute chart of Doge. So this was supposed to be the bottom. And of course, they have to do this. Again, just wild, insane liquidation. And now, most likely, we'll probably just sit here and trade like garbage to make everyone upset. Like on a 4-hour chart, there's this, this could continue. They could retest the lows. There's a lot of support at 15 cents, but, in many ways, like I said, this could just continue for 5 days. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it like goes to zero, but in theory, like tactically it's oversold, but this can trade like garbage for 5 days, which is what happened in 87, right? It just traded like garbage because everybody has to like recollect themselves. But like, how much lower can they take this versus last night's wick down? Like they can retest the wick and go bouncing back and forth, like retest the wick, go up, retest the wick, go up. That's what they can probably do, right? The market can look like this, which would be fine. I mean, no one wants to hear this, but the worse it looks, like if Doge did this, that's probably what it looks like. Like the worse it trades, the bigger the bottom. And I don't see how it can not be a bottom at some point, right? Because everyone's going to look at this and then equities will go down and everyone's going to be like, it's over or the cycle's done. And I don't think that's right at all. But it will trade like garbage because it never trades good at a bottom. It never does. AIXBT. Yeah, I'm not sure which one I'm looking at. I don't know. Let's look at the one on Solana. Okay. So, I mean, with all of this stuff, what they did was, assuming I have the right chart here, they stopped everyone out at the 62% retracement. They took it down about as far as you could rationally take it because, this is essentially where the up move started from. So everybody is getting an opportunity. If you want the good news, everybody is getting an opportunity to do all of these trades again, right? I mean, my McAfee meme coin gave you an opportunity that was before this calamity. XRP below $2. I mean, I thought XRP below $3 was a great buy. XRP below $2. I mean, you just got to you got to step back a second. And you're like, okay, after everyone gets done panicking, you're going to get to buy this stuff. Cause realistically, and I'm not trying to sell you this, but FART and all these coins, it's all the same thing, right? It's this is what it really is like long term. It's like, this is 1, 2 is a crash. And then, we do this kind of stuff over time, right? This is what I think it looks like probably out until July. And that's when the stock market has its reckoning, right? It's like you got to buy Web3 at this point, but it's going to probably trade like total garbage unless Trump comes out and just says, just kidding on the tariffs. Like one guy made a joke. He was like, you'll see 5 overweight Canadian mounted police at the border, and then it'll be over. Everyone will say Trump is a genius, and we'll just go right back to the way it was. I don't think that's the case, but really? Okay. If it could trade like garbage for a day, but at the end of the day, trading like garbage is actually bullish. Just, everyone's just like in such a state of shock. Everyone's upset, right? Yeah, I mean, will coins with more utility rebound faster? Look, dude, honestly, no one cares about anything when their P&L's wrecked. It has utility. It doesn't have utility. No one cares. I mean, I'm not saying that stuff that does something like my meme coin. I mean, I like to think that because my meme coin does something or something that has utility will come back. Are dogs and cats going to come back? The only reason dogs and cats would come back is because they're down 90%. It's like a cycle within a cycle. Literally. I mean, it's like you went all the way up and you went all the way down inside of a cycle. And my partner, said this, like, you're going to have cycles inside cycles. It's not a 4-year cycle. It's a 4-month cycle. This is literally what happened. I mean, if it went down, like, I don't know, let's just have a laugh. We'll do DGen after this, but I don't know, like, what happened to Popcat? Remember this? Like, the exchanges all listed it, and it went back to where it was in April of 2024. So you essentially have 100% retracement, more or less, in Popcat. And Popcat was, kind of a funny meme, and people liked it. Just blew up and went to zero. Exchanges listed it, and then they destroyed it. They sold it to retail at the top, and they got smoked. Okay, DGen's at its discount zone. You don't have all the Lux Algo bottom signals I would like. Let's go DGen on DeMark. Yeah, I mean, the bottom on DGen was like supposed to be 2 weeks ago. I don't like on this. I don't have anything that stops this necessarily other than the Lux Algo discount zone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, I don't, I mean, it can go deeper into the discount zone, I guess, but what is the point unless you're doing a tax loss? So you can have one more heave in this particular coin, and you can have one more heave in the market in general because everyone's like, well, it's not bouncing, so I'm quitting. I don't blame people for being upset. I really don't. I mean, like when I saw ETH go down 25%, I was like, oh, whiff. Somebody's at the Grammys with like the hat stays on. I was like, oh my God, this is the end of the world. So, whiff at its discount zone, right? Mass liquidation. I mean, they unwound the whole trade. They just sit. It got listed on KuCoin, and wherever it opened on KuCoin, they just liquidated everybody, right? It's like done. It's like everybody who got long whiff in this zone got wiped out. Everybody. Everybody who bought it since it was listed on KuCoin got smoked. So much for Dogecoins. Right. And again, this is really a function of this getting listed on centralized exchanges, and then it is dumped on retail. And I've been saying this. I was like, this is evil. They listed all this stuff because it can't be considered a security. And then, they just dumped it on retail. That's it. So, I mean, again, this probably trades like garbage because now everyone has to like adjust their position. It doesn't bounce. Everyone freaks out. It's just like 87 was the same way, right? 87 was the same way. 2008 was the same way, except the Fed came in and did QE, but there's no QE for crypto. There's no QE for crypto. Now, I guess if this affects equities, then the Fed has to come in. I think the Fed has already been in by increasing M2. Just trying to cushion the fact that, when they start cutting government spending, they're going to create a recession in Virginia. But again, what does this have to do with crypto? I don't know. Nothing. That's the whole point. Like, people are going to sell and panic, and this has nothing to do with crypto. Okay. So ski, we did, in 87, there was nothing to do with buy. It's like, I don't know. Let me just go to Perplexity and just ask. There's a company called Vanguard, and there was a guy, John Vanguard is his name. Actually, let's just put it on the screen for entertainment purposes. No, actually, I don't want to do that. Okay. So Vanguard, famous for buying a lot of stock at the bottom in 1987. How much stock did he buy? Did that buy help make Vanguard profitable and reputable? Let's see what Perplexity says about this. Because there's a guy named John Vanguard who just at the bottom of 87 just bought everything. Everything. Like Paul Tudor Jones at the top got famous for shorting it. And Vanguard, I think, was famous for buying it at the bottom. John Bogle was his name. Sorry. Okay, so here comes Perplexity chewing on it. Okay, so supposedly Vogel didn't buy, but he was basically recommending people calm down and buy. Sorry, so I got that wrong. Somebody bought, maybe it was Buffett. Somebody bought everything at the bottom and was like, just sat there with it and hodled. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so yeah, Brett Ski we did. They ran the stops at the 62% retracement. You know, I'm seeing things that something just came across right now that liquidations are underreported. That's probably true. I mean, they liquidated North Korea. I mean, if North Korea was levered long, everybody was levered long, and they just blow everyone out. Okay, so sharing the screen on Brett. So again, the thing that's scary about this is that you have a slowing momentum signal that didn't slow momentum. It's at its discount zone, and that's good, but it can retest whatever's in the discount zone. I mean, that's all I'm saying, right? Again, if you look at a tactical chart, like say a 4-hour chart, okay, you know, if you look at a 4-hour chart, you know, you have every reversal signal you could possibly have. You have slowing momentum, you have the green triangle, you have everyone puking. I don't know. There's no reason to get bearish, but there is reason to believe that this can get worse, right? So this is just coming in actually from the boss himself. The total liquidation is way more than 2 billion. He thinks it's 8 to 10 billion. You know, we have API limitations on how much feeds we can push per second. Other exchanges also practice the same to limit liquidation data. So this is the guy from Bybit. Should follow him. So yeah, it's literally like, if you think about this, right? So it's like, how do you think about what's going on here? Like 87 and this were similar, is that you liquidated the entire system. It's not who got liquidated. It's the system got liquidated. And they could do the same thing in Nvidia. I mean, again, that's still the problem with equities, right? I mean, I think equities just opened. So, I mean, let's just look at what the Nvidia babies are doing. Because, you know, Wall Street was dumping on these people on Friday. Like the signal that there was going to be a problem here was actually when they were dumping on people on Friday. Like everyone's like, oh, buy the dip in Nvidia. You know, this is what happened to Nvidia on Friday. It's like, oh, buy the dip, wick up. And Wall Street was like, yeah, okay, homie, here you go. So they just completely dumped on this. You know, you can make an argument both ways that this is overdone in stocks. But then again, if they liquidate the system, you know, the discount zone in Nvidia is at 90. It's currently at 114. If Nvidia goes down 20%, that's not good. So I continue to believe the biggest risk in crypto is not crypto. I'm not sharing the screen. The biggest risk in crypto is Nvidia, not crypto. You know. So, all right, let's go through this one more time. Sorry. The biggest risk to crypto is stocks, right? Because stocks are overvalued BS, which has nothing to do with the price of maple syrup. It's just that, you know, the fact that most stocks need to test their 200-day moving average needs to happen. Stocks need to go down probably like 5%, which will probably create more volatility in crypto. You know, if you're long garbage, puke out the garbage and rotate into something useful like Solana, Bitcoin, XRP, that kind of stuff. And, you know, also, if you wanted to buy like small cap stuff and small cap stuff is wrecked, then buy the small cap stuff, right? I mean, you know, this is the ultimate shopping sale. And the more upset people get, the bigger of a bottom it is, really. And this doesn't end in one day. This does not end in one day. Matter of fact, this takes like 3 or 4 days before Trump comes out and says, just kidding on the tariffs or whatever happens, right? You know, if this goes on more than today, people won't even remember why they were selling. They're just getting liquidated. And if the guy from Bybit is right and they're actually liquidating 8 to 10 billion, my answer to that is good. Because then the whole system is cleaned out. You clean out all of the bullshit coins, all of the stupid stuff. Everybody goes, okay, I'm done with meme coins. I'm done with pump.fun. Now what's good to buy in crypto? Where's Web3? Because Web2 is overpriced. Web3 is at its 200-day moving average. It's like bargain basement shopping. The question is, do you have any money? If you do, reorganize your portfolio so you have money. And if they panic today and tomorrow, then you just take it all from them. And, if it trades terrible, good. It's a bottom. It never trades good at a bottom. Like, I mean, at the top with Michael Saylor on the cover of a magazine, you were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Trump issues a meme coin. Everything is great. And then boom, right? Bill wants to buy the Melania meme coin to shop because someone's going to use it to shop at Target. That's my retardio moment. And then now it'll be total despair, and crypto Twitter will wrap some narrative around this that, oh, it's bearish and the cycle's over. That's not true either. Remember, it's cycles within cycles. Okay. So that's the market update. Just adjust your position, try to hang in there, and we'll see you tomorrow.